Before we dive in, please remember that I am not a financial advisor, and this presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. The world of cryptocurrency is volatile and carries significant risk. You should always do your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions. This video is not financial advice. Let's talk about my friend Mike. Last month, Mike decided it was finally time. He'd seen the headlines, he'd heard the buzz, and he was ready to buy his first little piece of Bitcoin. He went online, found a website that looked flashy, promised zero fees, and within 10 minutes, he had transferred $500 from his bank account. And then nothing. The money was gone. The website was a ghost. His $500 had vanished into thin air, and his first experience with crypto was a complete and total disaster. The most painful part of that story? It was 100% avoidable. And Mike is not alone. Not even close. Right now, over 50 million Americans own some form of cryptocurrency. But a chilling report from the Federal Trade Commission revealed that in the last year alone, consumers in the United States lost over $1 billion to crypto scams. $1 billion. That's a staggering number, and it proves that the biggest risk in crypto isn't necessarily picking the wrong coin. It's taking the wrong first step. This video is your shield against that. This is the guide I wish Mike had. The purpose of this presentation is to give you a simple, clear, step-by-step blueprint to make your very first cryptocurrency purchase safely, securely, and confidently right here in the United States. By the end of this video, you will not only know exactly where to go and what buttons to click, but you'll also understand the why behind each step, turning you from a nervous beginner into an informed participant. We are going to demystify this entire process, strip away all the confusing jargon, and eliminate the fear that's holding you back. Because let's be honest, that fear is real. You hear stories about people losing their life savings, about hacks, scams, and digital wallets being emptied. You see a language filled with acronyms and technical terms that feels like it's designed to keep you out. You might be thinking, I'm not a tech person, or I'm too late to the game, or the most common one of all, it's just too complicated and risky. I hear you. Every single one of those concerns is valid, but they are also solvable. The complexity, the risk, the confusion, it all melts away when you have a trusted roadmap. And that's what this is. Forget trying to understand the intricate details of blockchain consensus mechanisms or the future of decentralized finance for now. We can get to that later. Today is about one thing and one thing only: establishing a secure foundation. It's like building a house. You don't start by picking out the paint colors. You start by pouring a solid, steel-reinforced concrete foundation. In the world of crypto, your foundation is the platform you choose to make your first purchase. Getting this one decision right protects you from over 90% of the risks that plague beginners. So why should you even bother? With all the risks, why is this something worth your time and attention? Because whether you plan to invest a lot or a little, understanding this technology is becoming essential. This isn't just about magic internet money or trying to get rich quick. This is about understanding the next evolution of finance and the internet itself. It's about a technology that is fundamentally changing everything from how we transfer money to how we own digital goods, to how artists are paid for their work. Learning how to safely interact with this new world, even on a small scale, is like learning how to use the internet in 1995. It's a new skill for a new era, and being on the leading edge of that change is a powerful place to be. You don't have to bet the farm, but you owe it to yourself to understand the game. The entire journey starts with one key concept: the on-ramp. Think of the traditional financial world with dollars and banks as one country, and think of the crypto world with Bitcoin and Ethereum as a brand new country. An on-ramp is simply the bridge, the airport, or the border crossing that allows you to safely convert your US dollars from the old world into cryptocurrency in the new one. This on-ramp is officially known as a cryptocurrency exchange. But here's where the danger lies. There are thousands of these exchanges out there. Some are like brightly lit, secure, international airports with TSA agents and federal regulations. Others are like a rickety rope bridge over a canyon in the middle of a storm, operated by a stranger in a trench coat. For your first purchase, your single most important job is to choose the airport, not the rope bridge. So what does that airport look like here in the United States? It means choosing an exchange that is regulated, compliant with US laws, and has a long public track record of security and reliability. These are companies that are based in the United States, that answer to US regulators like the SEC and FinCEN, and that have robust security measures in place to protect your funds and your identity. they are publicly traded companies, or are backed by massive venture capital firms, meaning they have a reputation to uphold and are subject to intense scrutiny. This is the absolute, non-negotiable first rule of buying crypto safely. Use a large, reputable US-based exchange. Do not, under any circumstances, click on a random link you see on social media. Do not respond to a direct message from a so-called investment manager promising guaranteed returns. And do not use some obscure, overseas exchange that offers crazy leverage and 1,000 different coins you've never heard of. That is how you end up like Mike. You end up on the rope bridge in the middle of the storm. We are going to stick to the major, established players who have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on security and compliance. Think of them as the Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or Vanguard of the crypto world. They are built for beginners, they have user-friendly apps, and they have customer support you can actually contact. Now, when you sign up for one of these exchanges, you're essentially opening a new kind of financial account. It will feel very similar to opening an online bank account or a brokerage account. You'll need to provide your personal information, your name, address, social security number, and verify your identity by uploading a picture of your driver's license or passport. I need to pause here because this is a major sticking point for a lot of people. They'll ask, isn't crypto supposed to be anonymous? Why do I have to give them all my information? This is a crucial distinction. The underlying technology of some cryptocurrencies can be anonymous, but the on-ramps, the regulated businesses that connect to the traditional banking system, are not. This identity verification process, known as KYC or Know Your Customer, is not a sign of a scam. It is the exact opposite. It is a sign of a legitimate, law-abiding company. It's a federal requirement designed to prevent money laundering and other illicit activities. If an exchange that lets you connect your US bank account doesn't ask for this information, that is a massive red flag. You should run in the other direction. So embrace the KYC process. It's there for your protection and it's the first sign you're in the right place. The entire process we're going to follow is a simple 3-step loop. First, we choose our secure, US-based exchange. Second, we connect our traditional bank account or debit card to fund our new crypto account with US dollars. And third, we use those dollars to make our first purchase. That's it. We're not going to worry about complex wallets or decentralized applications today. We're going to walk before we run. We're going to master the absolute basics and ensure your first experience is safe, simple, and successful. I've personally walked hundreds of people through this exact setup, from college students to retirees. I've seen the questions, I've seen the hesitation, and I've seen the relief and excitement on the other side. My goal today is to give you that same feeling of confidence. To take this big, intimidating idea and break it down into small, manageable steps that anyone can follow. So, the big question is, which exchange should you actually use? Out of all the options available to a US citizen, which one is the best for a complete beginner? And more importantly, once you've chosen one, what are the 3 critical security settings you absolutely must enable before you deposit a single dollar to make your account virtually unhackable? We're about to cover all of it step by step. Let's build your foundation. Alright, let's forge the keys to your kingdom. The very first layer of your digital fortress is the password. And I know you've heard it a million times. Use a strong password. But what nobody tells you is that the human brain is physically incapable of creating and remembering what's actually required. A password like P@word123 isn't strong, it's a joke. A hacker's computer can crack that in less than a second. A truly secure password looks like this: $8 % in lowercase, 2-Z. It's a random, meaningless string of characters. You can't remember that, and you shouldn't have to. This is why the first non-negotiable tool you need, before you even think about crypto, is a password manager. Think of it as a digital vault for your passwords. You only have to remember one very long, very strong master password to unlock the vault. Inside, the manager creates and saves those impossible to crack, unique passwords for every single website you use. Why is this critical? Because of something called credential stuffing. Here's the nightmare scenario. You use the same email and password for your old social media account that you now use for your new crypto exchange. Years ago, that social media site gets hacked. Your login information is now on the dark web for sale for pennies. A hacker buys a list of 1 million of these logins, and using a simple program, they stuff those credentials into the login pages of every major crypto exchange. The program just tries them 1 by 1,000ths per minute. And when it gets a hit on your account, game over. Your crypto is gone in seconds. Forever. Using a password manager makes this attack impossible. Every single account you have gets its own unique, randomly generated password. So if your pizza delivery app gets hacked, who cares? The hackers can't use that password to get into your email, your bank, or most importantly, your crypto exchange. So your first step right now is to get a reputable password manager. Bitward and 1Password LastPass. Do your research, pick one, and use it for everything. This is step one of building your foundation. Now for the second and arguably most important layer of security, two-factor authentication or 2FA. This is the big one. This is what separates the victims from the victors in the world of digital finance. The concept is simple. Logging in requires two things, something you know, which is your password, and something you have, which is a temporary code. But here's the secret. Not all 2FA is created equal. There's a huge difference between good, better, and best. The most common, and by far the worst form of 2FA is receiving a code via SMS text message. It seems convenient, but it's dangerously flawed because of a terrifyingly simple hack called a SIM swap. Here's how it works. A scammer finds some of your personal information online, maybe from a past data breach, or even just your social media. They call your cell phone provider, pretending to be you. They say you lost your phone and need to activate a new one. They use the personal info they found to answer the security questions. The customer service rep, trying to be helpful, swaps your phone number over to a SIM card the hacker controls. Instantly, your phone goes dead. No signal. You might think it's just a network issue, but at that moment, the hacker is receiving all your calls and texts. They go to your crypto exchange, click Forgot Password, and the reset link gets sent to their phone. Then, when they log in, the 2FA code also gets sent to their phone. They are in. They can drain your entire account before you even realize your phone isn't working. It happens every single day. It is a catastrophic failure of security. You must never, ever use SMS for 2FA on any financial account. So what's the better option? An authenticator app. This is the minimum standard you should accept. Apps like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or Authy are installed on your phone. When you set it up, you scan a QR code on the exchange's website. From then on, the app generates a new 6-digit code every 30 seconds. This code is generated entirely on your device. It's not sent over the insecure text message network. A hacker would need your password in physical possession of your unlocked phone to get into your account. This stops SIM swappers cold. It's a massive upgrade in security, and it's the absolute baseline for protecting your crypto. But what's the best? The gold standard? A physical security key. This is a small device like a YubiKey or a Google Titan key that plugs into your computer's USB port or connects to your phone. To log in, you need your password and then you have to physically touch the key. That's it. No codes to type. No apps to open. You physically prove you are present with the key. A hacker in another country could have your password, they could have cloned your phone, they could know everything about you. But unless they can reach through the internet and physically touch the key on your desk, they cannot get in. It is the closest thing to unhackable that exists for a consumer. If you're serious about this, a $25 security key is the best investment you will ever make. So, to recap that critical second step, enable 2FA but disable SMS immediately. Use an authenticator app as your minimum, and upgrade to a physical security key as soon as you can. Now for the third and final security setting, the one most beginners miss. This is the secret that turns your fortress into an inescapable vault. Inside your exchange's security settings, you need to find two features: anti-phishing code and address whitelisting. Let's start with the anti-phishing code. Phishing is when scammers send you an email that looks exactly like it's from your exchange. It might say suspicious login detected or action required. The goal is to make you panic, click a link, and enter your login details on a fake website they built. It's incredibly effective. An anti-phishing code defeats this. You go into your settings and you set a secret word or phrase, something only you know, like Golden Grizzly, Bear 7. Now, every single legitimate email you receive from the exchange will have that code displayed in the body of the email. If you get an email that looks real but your secret code is missing, you know it's a fake. Delete it instantly. It's a simple, brilliant way to verify the sender is who they say they are. Finally, address whitelisting. This is your ultimate safety net. A crypto address is like a bank account number. It's the long string of letters and numbers you send your crypto to. Normally, you can send funds to any address you want anytime. Whitelisting changes that. It allows you to create a pre-approved list of addresses you're allowed to withdraw to. For example, you might whitelist the address for your own personal crypto wallet or the address of another exchange. Once an address is whitelisted, there's often a 24 or 48-hour cooling-off period before it becomes active. Now, imagine a hacker gets past your password and your 2FA, which is almost impossible if you follow the previous steps, but let's say they do. They get in and they try to withdraw all your money to their own address. They can't. The exchange will block the transaction because the hacker's address is not on your pre-approved whitelist. The exchange will then send you an email notification that someone tried to add a new address, giving you time to lock your account and stop the theft. It makes it practically impossible for a thief to get your money out. It is the final lock on the vault door. So there you have it. The 3 pillars of a bulletproof exchange account. A unique, strong password for every site, managed by a password manager. 2-factor authentication using an authenticator app or, even better, a physical security key. And finally, enabling your anti-phishing code and address whitelisting. If you do these 3 things, you will be more secure than 99% of other crypto users. You'll have a true foundation of security. Your account is now a fortress. But before you can connect your bank account and fund it, there's one more hurdle. A deeply personal one that stops many people in their tracks. It's a process that involves your driver's license and even your social security number. It's called KYC, or Know Your Customer, and understanding the one reason why it's not just a legal requirement, but your secret weapon against fraud, will change how you view your security forever. We'll break that down next. So what is this secret weapon? It's the simple, powerful idea of proof. Imagine you walked into a bank to open an account, and they didn't ask for your name, your ID, or anything. They just handed you a key to a safety deposit box and said, "Don't lose this." Sounds great, right? So private, so anonymous. But what happens if you lose that key? What happens if someone steals it? You walk back into the bank and say, "Hey, I lost the key to my box." The teller just shrugs. "Sorry, I don't know who you are. I have no way of knowing if that box is actually yours." Your money, your valuables gone. Forever. Because in the pursuit of privacy, you gave up proof of ownership. That is the world of unregulated, no KYC crypto exchanges. It's a world where losing a password is the same as having your house burned down with all your cash inside. There is number 911 to call. There is no insurance. There is no manager to speak to. Know Your Customer, or KYC, is the opposite of that. It's the bank asking for your driver's license. It's you creating a permanent, undeniable link between your real-world, government-verified identity and your digital assets. It's not about the government spying on your crypto purchases. It's about you having the ultimate trump card if anything ever goes wrong. It's your secret weapon, because if a hacker somehow gets past your password and your 2-factor authentication, you have one final unbeatable line of defense: your own face. You can contact the exchange, go through an identity verification process, and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are the rightful owner of that account. You can lock the hacker out and recover your funds. With KYC, you have recourse. Without it, you have regrets. So when a reputable US-based exchange like Coinbase or Kraken asks for a picture of your driver's license and a selfie, don't think of it as an invasion of privacy. Think of it as forging the key to your own vault. You're giving them the blueprint of your identity so they can always recognize you, and only you, as the owner. This one-time 10-minute process is the single most important security step you will ever take. It's what separates the safe, regulated world of crypto investing from the Wild West casino where the house can disappear at any moment. Now let's talk about the actual process, because it can feel a little weird the first time you do it. Typically, it's a 3-step dance. First, you'll enter your personal information: your name, address, date of birth, and yes, usually the last 4 digits of your social security number. This is the exact same information you provide to open a brokerage account to buy stocks, or a high-yield savings account online. It's standard financial procedure in the United States, designed to comply with anti-money laundering laws. They aren't selling your data. They're checking a box for regulators to prove they aren't helping criminals. Second, you'll be asked to upload a photo of your government-issued ID. A driver's license or a passport usually works best. You'll probably do this through your phone's camera. You'll take a picture of the front, then a picture of the back. The system uses software to verify that it's a legitimate, unexpired ID, and that the name matches the one you just entered. The third and final step is the one that feels the most futuristic: the liveness check. This is where you'll use your phone's selfie camera to take a short video or a series of pictures of your face. It might ask you to turn your head slowly to the left, then to the right, or to look straight at the camera. This isn't for their private photo album. This is incredibly sophisticated technology that proves two things. One, that you are a real live human being and not just a photograph, and two, that the face on the ID you just uploaded is the same face holding the phone right now. It prevents someone from stealing your wallet and using your license to open an account in your name. Once that's done, you submit it and you wait. For most people, the automated verification takes anywhere from a few minutes to a couple of hours. In rare cases, if a picture is blurry or there's a mismatch, it might require a manual review that can take a day or two. But be patient. This is the security system working for you. This is the moat being dug around your financial castle. Now, I want to tell you a quick story about why this matters so much. Back in the early days of crypto, there was an exchange called BTC. It was famous for one thing: total anonymity. No names, no IDs, no questions asked. People loved it. They felt like they were living the crypto dream. They poured hundreds of millions of dollars into it. One day, in July of 2017, the website just went dark. It was gone. The FBI had seized it, and one of its alleged operators was arrested in Greece. For the hundreds of thousands of users, their money vanished into thin air. They had no legal claim. They couldn't prove who they were or how much they had on the platform. They had traded security for anonymity, and they lost everything. That is the risk you take when you sidestep KYC. So you've picked a reputable US-based exchange. You've gone through the KYC process and fortified your account. You've proven you are who you say you are. The vault is secure, and it's registered in your name. You are now officially ready to move money from your traditional bank account into the world of digital assets. Your account balance currently says $0. The next step is to change that. This is where most beginners make their first expensive mistake. They see the big, friendly, buy with credit card button and they click it, not realizing they're about to get hit with a barrage of hidden fees that can eat up 3, 4, even 5% of their investment before they even own any crypto. But there's a better way. A much cheaper way. It's called an ACH transfer, and setting it up is the single most important thing you can do to save money on every single purchase you ever make. Understanding the difference between paying with a credit card, a debit card, and a direct bank transfer is the key to maximizing your investment. One is convenient but costly, one is a decent middle ground, and one is the undisputed champion for anyone serious about building wealth. We're going to break down exactly how to link your bank account, why it's just as safe as paying any other bill online, and how this one simple move can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars over time. Let's talk about that moment of hesitation. You've navigated the sign-up process, you've secured your account, and now you're at the final gateway, connecting your bank. For so many people, this is where a cold wave of doubt washes over them. A little voice in the back of your head whispers, "Is this really safe? Am I giving a crypto company the keys to my kingdom?" You're not alone in feeling this. It's the single biggest hurdle for most beginners, and it's rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of how modern finance actually works. I have a friend, let's call him David. When David first got into crypto back in 2020, he was terrified of this step. Absolutely petrified. He'd heard horror stories, read sensational headlines, and decided he was going to be extra safe. So instead of linking his bank account, he used his debit card for every single purchase. He'd buy $100 of Bitcoin here, $200 of Ethereum there. Each time he paid a fee of around 3.5%. He thought, "It's the price of security. I'm paying a little extra to protect my main bank account." He did this for over a year, feeling smug and secure. What he didn't realize was that his security was costing him a fortune, and ironically, it wasn't even any safer. The method he was avoiding, linking his bank account directly, is typically done through something called an ACH transfer. ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse. Now, that sounds technical and boring, but stick with me because this is the most important concept you need to grasp. ACH is not a crypto thing. It's the bedrock of the entire United States banking system. When you get a direct deposit from your employer, that's an ACH transfer. When you pay your mortgage, your car loan, or your electric bill directly from your checking account, that's an ACH transfer. You have been using this system your entire adult life, probably dozens of times a month, without even thinking about it. When a crypto exchange asks to link your bank account, they are simply tapping into this exact same decades-old, federally regulated system. They aren't inventing some new, risky way to access your money. They're using the most established and cost-effective payment rails that exist in the country. But the real question is, how does that connection happen? This is where the magic and the security comes in. Most major US exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken don't handle your bank login information themselves. They use a third-party service, most commonly one called Plaid. If you've ever linked your bank account to Venmo, Robinhood, Acorns, or almost any modern financial app, you've already used Plaid, probably without even realizing it. Think of Plaid as a hyper-secure, digital middleman, a translator. When you go to link your bank, the exchange essentially hands you over to Plaid for a moment. A window pops up that belongs to Plaid, not the crypto exchange. You enter your bank's username and password into Plaid's secure portal. Plaid then uses that information to establish a secure, encrypted token, a sort of digital handshake with your bank. It confirms who you are, that you have the funds, and it creates a secure tunnel for the transfer to happen. Once that tunnel is built, Plaid gets out of the way. The crypto exchange never sees and never stores your bank login credentials. Ever. All they get is the secure token that says, yes, this person is who they say they are, and they have authorized this connection. This process is protected by the same level of encryption your bank uses. We're talking AS256 and transport layer security. These are not just acronyms. They are the global standards for protecting sensitive data. It's the digital equivalent of an armored truck inside a bank vault. So, when David was using his debit card, thinking he was safer, he was actually exposing his card number, expiration date, and CVV code to the internet with every single purchase. Meanwhile, the ACH method he was avoiding was designed specifically to never expose the underlying credentials at all. It's like sending a sealed, certified letter versus shouting your secrets across a crowded room. One is discreet and secure, the other just feels easy in the moment. Now let's talk about why this matters so much. Let's go back to David and his security tax. He was paying about 3.5% on every purchase. Let's say he invested $500 a month. That 3.5% fee is $17.50. Every single month. Over a year, that's $210. $210 just gone. Vaporized into fees. That's $210 that could have bought him more Bitcoin or Ethereum. If the market went up, that lost $210 could have been worth $400 or $600 or even more. He wasn't just losing the fee. He was losing all the future potential gains of that money. Now, contrast that with an ACH transfer. The fee for an ACH transfer on most major exchanges is zero. It's free. Or, in some cases, a tiny flat fee that's less than a quarter. So, David could have saved that $210 and used it to increase his investment. Over 5 years, that's over $1,000 in fees alone, not even counting the lost gains. When you're serious about building wealth, you have to be ruthless about eliminating unnecessary fees. Fees are a silent killer of returns. Choosing to use ACH over a debit or credit card is the single easiest way to maximize every dollar you invest. So, how do you actually do it? It's shockingly simple. Inside your exchange account, you'll look for a section called Settings or Profile. Within that menu, you'll find an option that says Payment Methods or Linked Accounts. When you click Add a New Account, you'll likely be given a few options: debit card, wire transfer, and bank account. You're going to choose Bank Account. This is the point where the Plaid interface will typically pop up. It will show you a list of major banks: Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and so on. If you see your bank, you just click it. It will then ask you to log in using your normal online banking username and password. You enter it, it may ask for a two-factor authentication code just like your bank normally does, and then that's it. Within seconds, Plaid establishes the connection, the window closes, and you'll see your bank account listed as a payment method on the exchange. The whole process takes less than a minute. Now, what if you don't use a major bank, or you're still just a little hesitant to use the Plaid login method? There is an alternative. It's the old-school way, and it's called manual verification via microdeposits. If you don't see your bank listed, or if there's an option to link manually, you'll choose that. Here, you'll have to find your bank's routing number and your account number. You can find these on your bank's website or at the bottom of a check. You'll enter those two numbers directly into the exchange's site. Then, to verify that you actually own the account, the exchange will send 2 tiny deposits to your bank account. We're talking like 17 cents and 32 cents. It can take 1 to 3 business days for these to show up. Once you see them in your bank statement, you'll go back to the exchange, enter those 2 exact amounts, 17 and 32, and that confirms the link. It's slower, a bit more cumbersome, but it's a rock-solid and secure method that doesn't require you to enter your bank login anywhere. By taking this one step, linking your bank account via ACH, You are fundamentally shifting from a casual dabbler to a strategic investor. You're building a frictionless, low-cost bridge between your traditional financial world and your new crypto portfolio. You're setting yourself up to save hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars in the long run, and you're doing it using the same secure technology that powers the rest of your financial life. You've now built the on-ramp. The money is ready to move. But this brings us to the most important question of all. With this powerful new tool at your fingertips, what do you actually buy? You open the app and you're faced with a dizzying list of hundreds, maybe thousands of different coins and tokens. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Dogecoin. It's overwhelming. This is where 99% of beginners make their biggest, most costly mistake. They either gamble on a cheap, unknown coin hoping it will skyrocket, or they just randomly pick one of the top two without understanding why. Both are terrible strategies. There is a much smarter way to approach your very first purchase, a framework that protects your capital and sets you up for success. And in the next part, we're going to break down that exact framework so you can make your first buy with absolute confidence. So let's call this the three-tiered purchase plan. It's a simple, powerful method designed to do one thing: completely remove the fear, the anxiety, and the financial risk from your first crypto transaction. Most people, when they decide to buy, are driven by a powerful, almost irresistible emotion: FOMO, fear of missing out. They see a chart going straight up, they hear stories of people making a fortune, and they think, I have to get in now before it's too late. And so they take a chunk of their savings, maybe $1,000, maybe $5,000, and they throw it at the hottest coin of the week. This is the absolute worst way to start. It's not investing. It's gambling on a slot machine you don't understand. When you do this, one of two things happens. One, the price immediately drops, you panic, you sell at a loss, and you swear off crypto forever, convinced it's a scam. Or two, the price goes up, you get a rush of euphoria, and you develop the most dangerous habit an investor can have. You start believing you're a genius and that this is easy. Both paths lead to ruin. The three-tiered purchase plan is the antidote to this poison. Changes the entire game. It shifts your goal from get rich quick to get smart safely. And the first tier, the very first step, is what I call the coffee money purchase. I want you to think about the cost of a fancy coffee or maybe lunch. $5, $10, $20 max. An amount so small that if you lit a match and burned it, you wouldn't lose a second of sleep. You might not even notice it was gone. That's the amount of your first ever crypto purchase. And I know what you're thinking. $20? What's the point? I'm not going to get rich off $20. You're exactly right. The point of the coffee money purchase has absolutely nothing to do with making a profit. Its purpose is purely mechanical and psychological. This first tiny transaction is your training ground. It's where you conquer the user interface of the exchange. It's where you learn how to connect your bank account or debit card without sweating bullets. It's where you figure out the difference between a market order and a limit order. It's the moment you press the confirm purchase button for the first time and feel that little jolt of anxiety, only to realize that nothing bad happened. The world didn't end. A few seconds later, you see a tiny fraction of Bitcoin or Ethereum appear in your account. You did it. You are officially a cryptocurrency owner. This single act demystifies the entire process. It takes it from this big, scary, abstract idea and turns it into a simple, concrete action you've successfully completed. It's like learning to swim by dipping your toes in the water instead of being thrown into the deep end. You've broken the seal. You've overcome the inertia. The psychological barrier is shattered, and it cost you less than the price of a movie ticket. Once you've made your coffee money purchase and you're comfortable navigating the platform, you move to Tier 2, the tuition purchase. This is a slightly larger amount, but still an amount you must be fully 100% willing to lose. For some, this might be $50. For others, $100, maybe $200. You have to define this for yourself, but the rule is simple. If this money vanished tomorrow, it would sting, but it would not, under any circumstances, impact your ability to pay your bills or affect your lifestyle. This is your tuition fee to the University of Crypto. The purpose of this tier is to learn through experimentation. With this money, you can start to explore. Maybe you use it to buy a different cryptocurrency than your first one, forcing you to do a little bit of research. Maybe you try sending $50 of it from your exchange account to a private software wallet on your phone to understand how self-custody works. This is an incredibly important skill. You might even try selling a small portion of it back into US dollars and withdrawing it to your bank account, just to see the entire round-trip process through. The goal here is to make a few small, low-stakes moves. You will learn more from sending $50 to your own wallet than you will from reading 100 articles about it. This is active, hands-on learning. And if you make a mistake, if you send it to the wrong address or sell at the wrong time, you've lost your $50 tuition. It's a cheap lesson. A very cheap lesson compared to the person who makes their first mistake with $5,000. By completing this tier, you're building real-world competence and confidence. You're no longer just a spectator. You're a participant who understands the mechanics. Only after you've successfully navigated Tier 1 and Tier 2 are you ready for Tier 3, the strategic purchase. This is your first real investment position. And notice the difference in language. We're not throwing money at something or taking a punt. We are making a strategic allocation. The amount here is based on the personal financial assessment we talked about in the last part. It's a carefully considered portion of your investment capital that aligns with your risk tolerance. But here's the magic: by the time you get to this stage, you are a completely different person than the one who started. You are no longer a nervous first-timer. You've already bought crypto twice. You know how the platform works. You've seen the price go up and down on your small tuition position and you didn't panic. You understand the process of buying, holding, and maybe even moving your assets. The fear is gone. It's been replaced by a calm competence. So when you make your strategic purchase, you're doing it from a place of clarity and control, not from a place of frantic emotional FOMO. You are executing a plan. This framework fundamentally transforms you from a gambler into a methodical investor. It forces you to walk before you run, ensuring that by the time you take your first significant step, you actually know how to walk. It's the single safest, smartest way to begin your journey in this space, and it protects you not only from financial loss, but from the emotional roller coaster that wipes out most beginners. So you have the framework. You know the 3 steps to make your first purchase with total confidence. The coffee money purchase to break the ice, the tuition purchase to learn the ropes, and the strategic purchase to make your first real investment. But that raises the next 2 critical questions. Where exactly should you make this purchase? And which cryptocurrency should you choose for that first buy? These aren't minor details. They are hugely important. Choosing the wrong platform can cost you a fortune in hidden fees or, even worse, put your funds at risk on an insecure, unregulated exchange. And picking the wrong coin for your very first purchase can be an unnecessarily complicated and volatile disaster. In the next part, we're going to tackle the first of those questions head-on. We'll cut through the noise of the hundreds of exchanges out there and reveal the safest, most beginner-friendly, and most reputable platforms available to you right here in the United States, so you can make that first purchase on solid ground. Let's start with the hard truth. Choosing a cryptocurrency exchange is the single most important decision you will make on this entire journey. It's more important than picking which crypto to buy. It's more important than deciding when to buy it. Why? Because if you choose the wrong platform, none of the other decisions will matter. You could lose everything before you even get started. Think of it like choosing a bank to hold your life savings, but with a critical difference. In the world of crypto, there's no universal safety net. There's no government program that will swoop in and make you whole if your chosen exchange was run by crooks or was simply incompetent. The responsibility falls squarely on you. And that's terrifying because when you first look at the landscape, it's an absolute minefield. You'll hear terms thrown around like CX and DX, centralized and decentralized, KYC and non-KYC. You'll see a list of hundreds of exchanges, many with flashy ads, promising you the moon, offering access to obscure coins that could supposedly make you a millionaire overnight. And you'll hear the horror stories, the ghosts of exchanges past like MTGOX, and more recently the catastrophic collapse of FTX, where billions of dollars in customer funds vanished into thin air. It's enough to make anyone want to turn around and run. But you're not going to do that, because we're going to give you a simple, powerful framework to filter out 99% of the noise and danger. We're going to focus on 3 critical pillars for any exchange you, as a US-based beginner, should even consider. Those pillars are ironclad security, dead simple ease of use, and unwavering regulatory compliance. Let's break each one down. First, security. This isn't just about having a strong password. We're talking about the security of the exchange itself. The number 1 question you should ask is, how do they store my assets? Reputable exchanges use what's called cold storage. Imagine a bank vault, offline, disconnected from the internet, protected by armed guards and layers of physical security. That's cold storage for crypto. A huge percentage of an exchange's assets, we're talking 95% or more, should be held in this deep freeze, making them virtually impossible for hackers to reach. The small remaining amount, used for daily transactions, is in a hot wallet, connected to the internet. You want an exchange that is transparent about this. Even better, look for exchanges that conduct regular proof of reserves audits. This is a new standard that emerged from the ashes of FTX. It's an independent third-party verification that the exchange actually holds the assets it claims to hold on behalf of its customers. It's the exchange opening its books and saying, "See? The money is right here. We haven't gambled it away." Any exchange that isn't willing to prove its reserves in 2024 is a massive red flag. Finally, on security, look for insurance. Now this is key. FDIC insurance, which you know from your bank, protects your US dollar deposits up to $250,000. The best US-based exchanges offer this exact same protection for any cash you have sitting on their platform. But what about the crypto itself? Some top-tier exchanges also carry private insurance policies to cover assets held in their hot wallets against theft or cyber attacks. It's an extra layer of protection and a sign of a mature, responsible company. The second pillar is ease of use. This is crucial for your first purchase. The last thing you want is to be staring at a screen that looks like the cockpit of a 747, with blinking charts, order books, and a dozen different order types. For your first time, you want an interface that feels as simple as using PayPal or Venmo. You want a big friendly buy button. This also extends to how you get your money onto the platform. The process of funding your account should be painless. A good beginner-friendly exchange will allow you to link your US bank account directly via a system called ACH, just like you would with any other financial app. They'll also let you use a debit card for instant purchases. If an exchange makes you jump through hoops like complicated wire transfers to foreign banks just to deposit $100, they are not for you. Look for a clean mobile app, a simple layout, and straightforward funding options. You can graduate to the complex stuff later. For now, we prioritize simplicity and safety. And that brings us to our third and most important pillar for a US citizen: regulatory compliance. This is the great filter. This is the non-negotiable black and white test that separates a legitimate player from a ticking time bomb. The United States has some of the strictest financial regulations in the world. While that can sometimes feel like a hassle, in this case it is your greatest shield. You should only use an exchange that is legally registered and compliant to operate in the United States. This means they are registered as a money services business with FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. It means they comply with strict Know Your Customer, KYC, and anti-money laundering AML laws. This is why they have to ask for your personal information, like your address and social security number, when you sign up. It's the same reason a bank or brokerage does. Anyone telling you to use a no KYC exchange to protect your privacy is giving you dangerously reckless advice. What it really means is that exchanges operating outside the law, and they, along with your funds, could be shut down by regulators at a moment's notice with zero recourse for you. So, applying this three-pillar framework: security, ease of use, and US regulatory compliance, where do we land? Out of the hundreds of options, the list gets very, very small. For the vast majority of beginners in the United States, the choice boils down to two, maybe three primary platforms. The undisputed king of the beginner on-ramp in the US is Coinbase. Coinbase is a publicly traded company on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, which means its finances are open to public and regulatory scrutiny, a level of transparency that is almost unheard of in the crypto space. Their user interface is famously simple. It was designed from the ground up for people who have never bought crypto before. They offer FDIC insurance on your US dollar balance, and they have a long track record of robust security. They are based in the United States and have painstakingly worked to be compliant with US regulations. Is it perfect? No. Their fees on the simple one-click buy interface can be higher than competitors. But for your first purchase, paying a slightly higher fee for the peace of mind and simplicity that Coinbase offers is a trade-off worth making 10 times out of 10. The other top-tier contender is Kraken. Kraken is one of the oldest and most respected exchanges in the entire world, also founded and based in the United States. They have a legendary reputation for security. They've never had a major hack. Like Coinbase, they are fully compliant with US regulations. Their platform offers both a simple interface for beginners and more advanced options for when you get more comfortable. Many people consider Kraken to be a fantastic choice, with some arguing its fee structure is more competitive and its customer support is superior. You truly cannot go wrong starting with either Coinbase or Kraken. They both pass our three-pillar test with flying colors. You might also hear about Gemini, founded by the Winklevoss twins. It's another excellent, US-based, regulation-first exchange known for its intense focus on security and compliance. It's a perfectly valid third option that sits in the same top tier as Coinbase and Kraken. So which one should you pick? The honest answer is it doesn't dramatically matter which of these three you choose to start. The crucial thing is that you are choosing from this small vetted group of highly regulated US-based platforms. Here is the single biggest trap you must avoid: the siren song of the unregulated offshore exchange. You'll see influencers on YouTube or Twitter pushing exchanges like KuCoin, Bybit, or others, touting access to hundreds of speculative altcoins and features like high leverage trading. Do not, under any circumstances, use these as your primary exchange as a beginner in the US. They are not properly licensed to serve US customers. Access could be cut off at any time, and if something goes wrong, your money is gone forever. Stick to the regulated home team. Start with Coinbase or Kraken. Now you know what to look for. You know the framework, and you have the names of the most trusted players in the game. You've chosen the safe, sturdy ground to build on. The next step is to actually walk through the door, set up your account, and bolt it shut so that no one but you can ever get in. So let's walk through that door. The first thing any reputable exchange in the United States will ask for is an email address, and for you to create a password. Sounds simple, but this is your first and most fundamental line of defense. This is the key to the front gate of your fortress. And you wouldn't make the key to a fortress out of a twig, would you? So let's talk about that password. I am not going to tell you to use a strong password. You already know that. I am going to tell you that if you reuse a password from any other site, your email, your social media, that pizza delivery app you used once 3 years ago, you have already failed. Hackers don't usually break in by guessing your password. They break in because another, less secure website gets breached, and your email and password combination from that site gets leaked onto the dark web. They then take that list of millions of credentials and use automated programs to try them on every crypto exchange in existence. It's called credential stuffing. Your password for your crypto exchange must be 100% unique. It should never have been used anywhere else, and it should never be used anywhere else in the future. It needs to be long, complex, and impossible to guess. A random string of letters, numbers, and symbols. How do you manage this? You don't. You let a machine do it. Use a password manager. Services like LastPass, 1Password, or Bitwarden will generate and securely store a unique, ridiculously complex password for every single site you use. You just have to remember one master password. Investing a few minutes to set up a password manager is the single best security decision you can make, not just for crypto, but for your entire digital life. Your crypto fortress deserves a titanium key, not a password you also use for your Netflix account. Okay, you've created an account with a unique, fortress-grade password. You're in the lobby. The next step is proving you are who you say you are. This is where many people get a little nervous, but it's actually the most important sign that you're in the right place. This process is called KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. In the United States, any financial institution that deals with money, and yes, that includes major crypto exchanges, is required by law to verify the identity of its customers. This isn't the exchange being nosy. This is the exchange complying with federal regulations like the Bank Secrecy Act and anti-money laundering laws. It's the same reason you can't just walk into a bank with a suitcase of cash and open an anonymous account. If an exchange doesn't ask for this information, you should run in the other direction. It means they are not compliant with US law, and your funds are likely at extreme risk. KYC is your friend. It's the security desk in the lobby checking your ID to make sure you're supposed to be there. So what will they ask for? Typically, you'll need to provide your full legal name, address, date of birth, and your social security number. Again, this is standard practice for any US financial account, just like opening a brokerage account to buy stocks. They need your SSN for tax reporting purposes, mandated by the IRS. Then you'll likely need to prove it. This usually involves using your phone's camera to take a picture of the front and back of a government-issued photo ID, like your driver's license or a passport. Some may also ask for a liveness check, where you take a selfie or a short video of your face to prove it's really you, and not just a stolen photo of an ID. This entire process can feel a bit intrusive, but remember the goal. It prevents criminals from using these platforms for illicit activities, and it secures your account to your real-world identity. It's a feature, not a bug. It's what makes these platforms safe and legal to operate in the United States. So gather your ID, be prepared for a selfie, and get it done. The verification is usually automated and can take anywhere from a few minutes to a couple of days. Once you're verified, your identity is linked to the account. The security desk knows who you are. But we still haven't bolted the vault door shut. We're about to install the most important security feature of all, and it is not optional. This is two-factor authentication, or 2FA. 2FA means that to log in you need two things: something you know, your password, and something you have. This is usually your phone. Even if a hacker steals your password, they are stopped dead in their tracks because they don't have that second piece. They can't get in. Now, the exchange will likely offer you two main options for 2FA. The first is SMS, where they text a code to your phone number. The second is using an authenticator app, like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or Authy. I need you to listen to me very carefully. Do not use SMS-based 2FA. I repeat, do not use SMS. It is convenient, and it is better than nothing, but it has a critical, well-known vulnerability called a SIM swap attack. Here's how it works. A hacker finds some of your personal information online. They call your mobile phone provider, pretending to be you. They say you lost your phone and need to activate a new SIM card. They use the information they found to answer the security questions. If they succeed, your phone number is instantly transferred to a SIM card in their possession. Your phone goes dead. And now every security code, every reset link, every 2FA text message sent to your phone number goes directly to the hacker. They have your password, and now they have your second factor. They can drain your account in minutes. This happens every single day. Using SMS for 2FA is like locking your fortress door with a deadbolt made of glass. It looks secure, but it shatters with a little bit of skilled pressure. The secure, correct, and only option you should choose is an authenticator app. This is the Steel Vault Door. Here's how it works. You download an app like Google Authenticator. You scan a QR code on the exchange's security page. That's it. Now the app on your phone will generate a new 6-digit code every 30 seconds. This code is generated by an algorithm that is synced only between that app and your exchange account. It happens entirely on your device. It never travels over the vulnerable cellular network. A SIM swapper can't intercept it. A hacker across the world can't access it. It is local, it is offline, and it is infinitely more secure. When you set this up, the exchange will give you a set of backup codes or a secret key. This is the emergency override. If you lose your phone, this key is the only way to regain access to your authenticator and your account. You must write this key down on a piece of paper. Do not save it as a screenshot on your phone. Do not email it to yourself. Do not save it in a text file on your computer. If your device is compromised, so is your backup key. Write it down. Store it in a safe place. A fireproof safe, a safety deposit box, a locked drawer. Somewhere you store other critical documents like a birth certificate or a passport. Treat it like a bar of gold, because it could one day be protecting thousands or even millions of dollars. So let's recap the build. We've laid the foundation with a unique email. We've installed a titanium front gate with a password from a password manager. We've registered our identity with the security desk through KYC, ensuring we're in a legitimate, regulated building. And we have just slammed shut and locked a multi-ton, steel-reinforced vault door using an authenticator app. And we've hidden the emergency key where no one but us can find it. Your account is now a fortress. It's secure. It's verified. It's ready. The vault is built. Now it's time to put something inside. And that something to start is plain old US dollars. Before you can buy any digital asset, you need to connect your traditional bank account to this new world exchange. You need to build a bridge from the world you know to the one you're about to enter. This process is called funding your account. And just like building our security fortress, we're going to do it with intention and a clear understanding of our options. Most major US exchanges will give you two primary ways to get money in: an ACH bank transfer or a debit card. At first glance, they seem to do the same thing, but they are fundamentally different, and the one you choose matters. Think of it like this: you need to get cash to your vault. The debit card is like a high-speed sports car. It's fast. You can link your card, decide to buy $100 of Bitcoin, and within minutes that Bitcoin is in your account ready to go. The transaction is nearly instant. But that speed comes at a cost. Debit card purchases almost always have higher fees, sometimes significantly higher. You're paying a premium for convenience and immediacy. The other option, the ACH transfer, is like an armored truck. It's not as fast. It's a bit more methodical. When you link your bank account via ACH, you're setting up a standard electronic funds transfer. You might tell the exchange, I want to deposit $500. The exchange starts the process, but it can take anywhere from 3 to 5 business days for that money to fully clear and become available for you to withdraw. However, the armor truck is much cheaper. The fees for depositing via ACH are often zero, and the fees for buying crypto with those deposited funds are typically a fraction of what you'd pay with a debit card. So which do you choose? For your very first purchase, when excitement is high and you just want to get started, the temptation to use a debit card is strong. And that's okay, as long as you're aware you're paying a small excitement tax in the form of higher fees. But for a long-term strategy for making regular contributions, the armor truck, the ACH transfer, is your best friend. It rewards patience with savings, which over time can add up to a significant amount of extra crypto in your portfolio. My advice? Link your bank account via ACH. Even if you use your debit card for the very first taste, have the slow and steady option ready for the future. It's the smarter financial move. Alright, the bridge is built. Your bank is connected. Now comes the question that stops so many people cold. The one that echoes in the mind of every single person standing at this threshold. How much? How much should I actually buy? You see numbers flashing on the screen. 1 Bitcoin costs tens of thousands of dollars. An Ether costs thousands. The immediate terrifying thought is, I can't afford this. Let me be absolutely clear. This is the single biggest misconception in all of crypto. You do not need to buy a whole Bitcoin. You don't even need to buy a tenth of one. You can buy $10 worth. You can buy $5 worth. Bitcoin and most other cryptocurrencies are divisible into tiny fractions. A Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million smaller units, called Satoshis or Sats. So when you're not buying a Bitcoin. You're buying a certain dollar amount of Bitcoin. This brings us back to the core question. What's the right amount for you? And the answer, the only responsible answer, is an amount you are genuinely 100% willing to lose. I know that sounds scary, but it's the most liberating rule in this entire space. Crypto is volatile. It's a new technology. It's an asymmetric bet on the future. By only putting in an amount of money that wouldn't change your life if it went to zero, you free yourself from fear. You remove the emotion. You can't make good decisions when you're panicking because your rent money is on the line. So look at your finances. What's a number that feels significant but not stressful? Is it the cost of a few nice dinners out? The cost of a new video game? $100? $50? $20? Whatever that number is, that's your starting point. This isn't about getting rich tomorrow. This is about taking the first step, getting a feel for the market, and securing your small piece of this new digital frontier. Your first purchase is your ticket to the game. You don't need a luxury box seat. You just need to be in the stadium. Okay, you've got your account funded. You've got your number. Now what do you actually buy? You open the exchange and you're hit with a wall of names and logos. Cardano, Solana, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, hundreds, even thousands of different coins. It's overwhelming. It's designed to be. It triggers the fear of missing out. But we are not here to gamble. We are here to make a safe, informed first purchase. For that reason, for your first time, you should ignore 99% of what you see. You should focus on the two pillars of the entire crypto world, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Think of them as the blue-chip stocks of this new asset class. Bitcoin is the original. It's the digital gold. It has the longest track record, the most secure network, and is the most widely recognized crypto in the world. Its purpose is simple and profound: to be a secure, decentralized store of value that no person or government can control. Ethereum is the other giant. If Bitcoin is digital gold, Ethereum is a decentralized world computer. It's a platform on which other applications can be built, things like NFTs, decentralized finance, and new forms of social media. It's more like a foundational technology, like the internet itself, with immense potential for growth and innovation. For your first purchase, choosing either Bitcoin or Ethereum is the safest, most prudent choice you can make. You can't go wrong by starting with the leaders. Don't worry about picking the next small coin that's going to go up 1,000%. That's a lottery ticket. We're building a foundation. You can explore other things later once you understand the landscape. For now, stick with the kings. Bitcoin or Ethereum? Pick one. The moment has arrived. Your account is funded. You've decided on your dollar amount. You've chosen your asset. Let's walk through the final clicks. You'll navigate to the buy, sell, or trade button on your exchange. You'll select the cryptocurrency you want to buy. Let's say it's Bitcoin. It will then ask you how much you want to purchase. You won't type in 0.002 Bitcoin. You'll simply type in your dollar amount, $100. The software does all the complex math for you, and then you will hit a button that says Preview Purchase or Review Order. This is the most important click of all. This is your pilot's final checklist before takeoff. A screen will appear that lays everything out in plain English. It will say you are buying Bitcoin. You are spending $100. It will show you the current price of Bitcoin. It will show you the fee the exchange is charging you, and it will show you the exact amount of Bitcoin you will receive in the end. Take a deep breath. Read every single line on that screen. Does it all look correct? Is it the right asset? Is it the right dollar amount? If it is, and only if it is, you will see a big button that says Confirm Purchase or Buy Now, and you will click it. And just like that, it's done. A transaction that settles in seconds across a global decentralized network. You'll see a confirmation screen. Your US dollar balance will go down, and a new balance will appear. A balance of Bitcoin. It might look small, a string of zeros after the decimal point, but it's not zero. It's yours. You did it. You've officially stepped across the threshold. You've converted your government-issued currency into a native asset of the internet. The vault is no longer empty. Now, a word of warning. Your immediate instinct will be to check the price. In 5 minutes. In an hour. The next morning. And you will see that it has changed. It may be up a little. It may be down a little. This is the nature of the beast, and your education and emotional control begins now. Do not panic if the value drops 10% the day after you buy. Do not get euphoric if it goes up. Your first purchase wasn't a short-term trade. It was a long-term statement. You believe in the potential of this technology over a timescale of years, not minutes. Zoom out. What you've just done is incredible. You've secured your account, you've navigated the financial system, and you've taken ownership of your first digital asset, sitting right there in your exchange account. Safe, secure, and ready. But is an exchange, a company owned by other people, truly the safest place to store this new asset for the long run? You've put your gold inside the bank's vault, which is very secure. But what if I told you that you could have your own personal, impenetrable vault? A vault where you and only you hold the key. Taking your crypto from the bank and moving it into your own possession is the final critical step to true financial sovereignty. And that is exactly what we're going to do next. This process is often called self-custody, and it's the moment you graduate from being a crypto speculator to a true owner. It's the difference between having a slip of paper that says you own a gold bar in a vault somewhere in Switzerland, and actually holding that heavy, gleaming bar in your own 2 hands. So, how do we build this vault? It's called a crypto wallet. And no, it's not like the leather wallet in your back pocket. It's a piece of software or hardware that gives you a unique, secret key to access your funds on the blockchain. Think of the blockchain as a global public ledger of all transactions, like a giant spreadsheet everyone can see but no one can change. Your wallet doesn't actually hold your coins. Your coins are always on that global ledger. What your wallet holds are the keys, the secret passcodes that prove you are the owner of specific coins on that ledger and give you the power to move them. There are 2 main types of vaults you can build. The first is called a hot wallet. Think of this like a high-tech checking account or the cash you keep in your pocket. It's a software application that lives on your phone or your computer, so it's connected to the internet. It's incredibly convenient for sending, receiving, and using your crypto. But because it's online, it has a slightly higher risk. A hacker, in theory, could compromise your phone or computer and try to access it. The second type is a cold wallet, or a hardware wallet. This is the Fort Knox of crypto. It's a small physical device like a specialized USB drive that keeps your keys completely offline. To send a transaction, you have to physically plug it in and press buttons on the device itself. This makes it virtually impossible for a remote hacker to steal your funds. It's the ultimate in security, designed for holding your long-term investments, the crypto you don't plan on touching for years. For your very first withdrawal, we're going to start with the most accessible option, a reputable hot wallet. It's free, it's fast to set up, and it's the perfect way to learn the ropes of being your own bank. Popular, trusted choices include Exodus, Trust Wallet, or Blue Wallet. The process is similar for all of them. You'll download the app from the official App Store. And please double-check that it's the real one with millions of downloads, not a clever fake. Once you open the app, you'll begin the most important ritual in all of crypto. This is the moment that separates the amateurs from the sovereigns. The wallet is going to generate something for you called a recovery phrase or a seed phrase. It will be a list of 12 or 24 simple English words in a specific order. I need you to stop whatever you are doing and listen to me. These words are not a password. They are everything. They are the master key to your entire vault. If your phone falls into the ocean, you can buy a new one, download the same wallet app, enter these 12 words, and your entire crypto balance will reappear perfectly intact. But if someone else gets these 12 words, they can do the exact same thing. They can steal every last cent you have, and there is no one you can call. There is no fraud department. There is no password reset. You are the bank, and these words are the keys to the entire vault. So what do you do with them? You write them down with a pen on a piece of paper. You do not take a screenshot. You do not save them in a text file on your computer. You do not email them to yourself or store them in your cloud drive. Hackers live for that stuff. You write them down, you check the spelling, you number them from 1 to 12. Then you do it again on a second piece of paper. Store these pieces of paper in 2 different safe, secure physical locations. Think fireproof safes, safety deposit boxes, or a place no one would ever think to look. This piece of paper is now one of the most valuable things you own. Treat it that way. The wallet will ask you to confirm the phrase to make sure you wrote it down correctly. Do it. This is your life raft. Okay, the ritual is complete. Your vault is built. Your keys are secure. Now what? Your wallet is now active. Inside, you'll see a list of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. Let's say you bought Bitcoin on the exchange. You'll tap on Bitcoin inside your new wallet, and you'll see 2 big buttons, Send and Receive. You want to receive your Bitcoin from the exchange, so you'll tap Receive. The wallet will then show you a long string of letters and numbers. This is your Bitcoin public address. Think of it like your personal bank account and routing number combined into one. This address is how the blockchain knows where to send the funds. It's perfectly safe to share this address with anyone. It's only for receiving. You'll see an option to copy it. Go ahead and copy that address. Now we go back to the exchange, your Coinbase, your Kraken, wherever you bought your crypto. Log in and find your Bitcoin balance. You're looking for a button that says Withdraw or Send. Click it. It will open a new screen and ask for 2 main things: how much you want to send and where you want to send it. This is where we perform our second sacred ritual, the test transaction. You would never, ever send your entire life savings to a new bank account without first verifying it works. We do the same here. For the amount, you're going to send the smallest possible sum. $5, $10, whatever the minimum is. This is not about the money, it's about testing the pipes. Next, it will ask for the address. You'll paste the address you copied from your new wallet. And now the most paranoid, most important check you will ever do. Look at the address you just pasted on the exchange. Now switch back to your wallet app. Compare the first 4 or 5 characters of the address. Do they match perfectly? Now compare the last 4 or 5 characters. Do they also match perfectly? Read them out loud. Do this 3 times. Why? There is a nasty type of malware called a clipboard hijacker that can recognize when you copy a crypto address and secretly replace it with a hacker's address when you paste. A quick check of the first and last few characters defeats it completely. Never skip this step. Once you are 1000% certain the address is correct, the exchange might ask you to confirm through email or a 2-factor authentication code. Do it. Then you'll hit Confirm Withdrawal. And now you wait. Blockchain transactions are not instant like Venmo. They have to be verified and added to the public ledger by a global network of computers. This can take anywhere from a few minutes to half an hour, sometimes longer if the network is busy. You'll be able to see the transaction as pending on the exchange. Then a magical thing will happen. Your phone will buzz. You'll get a notification from your new wallet app. You have received 0.000 something Bitcoin. You open the app and there it is. The test amount. It worked. The pipes are clear. The connection is good. Only now, after a successful test, do you go back and repeat the exact same process for the rest of your funds. Copy the address, paste it, check it 3 times, and send the full amount. A few minutes later, that balance will appear in your wallet. And the feeling is different. Looking at that balance on an exchange feels like looking at your banking app. It's just a number on a screen, an IOU from a corporation. But seeing it in your own self-custody wallet, that feels real. Feels heavy. It is no longer a promise. It is a possession. You didn't just buy an asset, you took delivery. You are now, in the truest sense of the word, your own bank. You hold the keys. You have the power. This is a profound shift in responsibility. And with that power comes the need for a new level of awareness and security mindset. Because now, you are the sole guardian of your wealth. And protecting that vault for the long term is the final piece of this puzzle. So let's talk about building that vault. Not with steel and concrete, but with silicon and cryptography. The first rule of long-term crypto security is simple. Get your assets off the exchange. Remember, an exchange is a convenient place to buy and sell, but it's like leaving your gold with a third party. They hold the keys. They are a massive glowing target for hackers. True ownership, true sovereignty means you and only you hold the keys. This is where a hardware wallet becomes non-negotiable. Think of it as the digital equivalent of a high-security bank vault that fits in the palm of your hand. It's a small physical device, completely disconnected from the internet, that stores your private keys offline. When you want to send crypto, you plug it into your computer, the transaction details are sent to the device, and you physically press a button on the device itself to approve it. This physical confirmation is the secret sauce. It means even if your computer is riddled with viruses, even if a hacker is watching your every keystroke, they cannot access your funds. They can't press that button from halfway across the world. This one piece of hardware, which typically costs between $60 and $150, is the single greatest investment you can make in your financial security. It's not just a gadget. It's an insurance policy against catastrophic loss. When you set up this hardware wallet, you will be given the most important piece of information you will ever own. Your 24-word recovery phrase, also known as a seed phrase. These 12 or 24 simple words are the master key to your entire crypto kingdom. With these words, anyone can recreate your wallet and access all of your funds on any device, anywhere in the world, without needing your password, your PIN, or the physical hardware wallet itself. I need you to understand this. This phrase is not a password. It is your wealth. It is the digital equivalent of bearer bonds. Whoever holds it owns it. And because of that, there is a sacred list of rules, a never list, that you must burn into your mind. First, you will never store this phrase digitally, ever. Do not take a photo of it. Do not save it in a text file on your computer. Do not email it to yourself. Do not put it in a password manager or a note-taking app or your cloud drive. Digital storage is vulnerable storage. If it's connected to the internet, assume it can be compromised. Second, you will never type this phrase into any website or computer program. Your hardware wallet will generate it for you and you will write it down. The only time you should ever use it is to restore your wallet on a new trusted hardware device. Any website, any pop-up, any application asking for your seed phrase is a scam. 100% of the time. No exceptions. Third, you will never speak this phrase out loud. Not to a friend, not to a family member, and certainly not to someone on the phone claiming to be customer support. Legitimate companies like Coinbase, Ledger, or Trezor will never, ever ask you for your recovery phrase. It's like the real IRS never calling you to demand payment in gift cards. The person asking for your keys is always a thief. So how do you protect it? You write it down on paper, or better yet, you etch it into a piece of steel designed for this very purpose so it can survive fire and flood. You store this physical copy in a secure location like a safe. Some people make 2 or 3 copies and store them in different secure locations. Some people even split the phrase, storing the first 12 words in one location and the last 12 in another. This might sound like something out of a spy movie, but we are now in an era where you are the spy, and the secret you're protecting is your own financial future. The 10 minutes it takes to secure your seed phrase properly will be the most valuable 10 minutes of your entire investment journey. Because the threats aren't just brute force hackers trying to crack a code. The most dangerous threats are the ones that target you, your psychology, your trust. The crypto space is filled with incredibly sophisticated social engineering scams. You'll get an email that looks exactly like it's from your exchange, warning of a security breach, and telling you to click a link to secure your account. That link leads to a fake website that steals your login. You'll get a direct message on social media from a friendly stranger, offering to help you with an investment that promises impossible returns. They're just trying to get you to connect your wallet to a malicious site that will drain it instantly. You'll see a promotion for a free airdrop of a new hot token. All you have to do is sign a transaction with your wallet to claim it. But what you're actually signing is a malicious smart contract that gives the scammer permission to take everything you own. These people prey on greed and fear. the two most powerful human emotions. They create a sense of urgency, making you feel like you have to act now or you'll miss out or lose everything. The moment you feel that pressure, that emotional spike, that is your signal to stop, to breathe, to close the browser, and to think. The single greatest defense you have is a healthy dose of skepticism and the patience to verify everything. Boring is safe. Boring is profitable. The exciting, urgent, too good to be true offers are almost always traps. As you move forward from this first purchase, your journey evolves from security to strategy. The vast majority of successful long-term investors don't try to time the market. They don't try to buy the bottom and sell the top. They use a strategy called dollar cost averaging, or DCA. It's simple. You invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, say $50 every Friday, regardless of the price. When the price is high, your $50 buys less. When the price is low, it buys more. Over time, this averages out your cost and removes the emotion and stress from investing. It turns market volatility, crypto's most terrifying feature, into an advantage. And as you consider investing in other assets beyond Bitcoin or Ethereum, you must embrace the mantra of do your own research. Don't buy something just because an influencer on YouTube or TikTok is screaming about it. That's a recipe for disaster. Learn to read a white paper. Understand what problem the project is trying to solve. Look at the team behind it. Check its community. Is it a ghost town or a thriving ecosystem? You wouldn't buy a house without inspecting the foundation. Don't buy a digital asset without inspecting its fundamentals. Finally, a crucial but often overlooked point for anyone in the United States. Taxes. In the eyes of the IRS, cryptocurrency is treated as property. This means when you sell it, trade it for another crypto, or even use it to buy something, it's a taxable event. You are responsible for tracking the cost basis, what you paid for it, and reporting any capital gains or losses. This can get complicated fast. Use a crypto tax software service from day one to automatically track your transactions. It will save you a world of headache when tax season comes around. Don't ignore this. Being your own bank means also being your own compliant accountant. We've come a long way. From the abstract idea of a new kind of money to choosing a safe place to buy it, to making that first transaction, to now understanding how to secure it for a lifetime. You started this journey simply wanting to know how to buy some crypto, but you've learned something far more profound. You've learned the fundamentals of self-custody, of digital sovereignty, of what it truly means to own an asset in the 21st century. You are no longer just a passive user of a financial system. You are an active participant, a network operator, a pioneer. The path forward will be filled with noise, with volatility, with hype, and with fear. But you now possess the foundational knowledge to navigate it with confidence and security. You have the tools to build your own vault and the mindset to protect it. Your first purchase wasn't just a transaction. It was a declaration that you are taking control. The real journey, the journey of continuous learning, of vigilance, and of building a future on a foundation that you, and you alone, control, starts now.